little taller. So let me begin by saying, howdy. Howdy. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. We know you got a lot of options, and there's a lot of good TV on tonight, and you got kids at home, but you came out to here to be with us and the family and listen to me speak for a few minutes. I really appreciate it. Second thing is welcome to this wonderful YMCA Bolton Center here in Bayshore. What 15 years ago was a shambles of a building is now a shining symbol of what a downtown renaissance can happen when a vital YMCA comes to town. You know, it's fantastic. Now, many of you in this building have given generously to help build this place and the other buildings that we have in the Y family, and we thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. There are a bunch of newcomers here tonight too, and I'm going to invite you to come help us with the next renaissance we create, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, I'm extremely proud of the small part that my Sammis family here has had to do with what the YMCA has become. And for that, for me, we are an extremely effective powerhouse nonprofit, changing the lives of 60,000 Long Islanders every single day. I'm a little sad that my dad and mom and my first wife Mary can't be here, and their folks. They're the first generations that were supporting the Y, and they're so proud of what's happening here tonight. My sisters have some health issues in Colorado and in Massachusetts with their family, not with them. But they love the Y too, and they would be here if they could. They send their best wishes. But the good news is, these four people are here. Now, these are the four most important people in my life, and I want to introduce you to them formally. First, my three incomparable children, Becky, John, and Trevor. Unbelievable. I mean, you're my inspiration. And of course, there's my heartthrob and soulmate Tina, who we married less than a year ago. Give her a hand, too. All right, now we let them go. Cool. Close it out. I got it. All right. As you can tell from the video, I'm a lifelong Y guy. I was dragged into the Norton Pool in Huntington at age 5 by my mom, which the Norton Pool was tiny, but it seemed to me huge. And I was thrown in the pool as a polywog, beginning swimmer, and progressed through the ranks to be a bluefish or a shark or a snail. I don't know what it was, but some people think that I took in too much pool water when I was swimming. That's how the Y got in my blood, but you know, whatever. I'm a Y guy for sure, and I'm also a curious guy, and some questions come to mind. I want to know why, how, and what. So 3 questions I want to go over with you tonight. The first one is, what magnetic pull is it that drags 60,000 Long Islanders out of their houses and businesses to come to a Y throughout the week? What exactly is that? Number 2 question, how did this place happen? I mean, it's a miracle. It's between $2 and $3 million bucks, and right here in the middle of Bayshore. How did this happen exactly? Where did the money come from? And number 3, why do you give, and why do I give? Why does anybody give to the YMCA? We're going to talk about it in a minute. So, question number 1. I want to know if you have any idea how much the Y has grown in the last 20 years. Is it 2 times, 3, 4, 6 times bigger? We're 6 times bigger in the last 20 years. Let's have a round of applause for that. That's fantastic. We are building the fields, and they are coming. Now, but why do they come? You think it's because of the advertising that we have out there, the media presence, the buzz on the internet? I don't think so. We don't do much advertising. Our budget goes to the services and to the programs that we put out there, not much for advertising. So it isn't that. What I think it is word of mouth that comes from the Y magic. And the Y magic has two pieces to it. One of them is the things that happen every day at the Y, which I'm going to go through in a minute. And the second part is the amazing Y people that work in all of our branches. And I'm going to talk about that right now. The first thing is, let's talk about what happens at a YMCA on a daily basis. All right, first thing in the morning, it's still kind of dark, it's the morning, up pull the SUVs and the minivans. And the kids get dropped off, and then they come to the YMCA daycare. I don't know if you know, the YMCA is the #1 provider of child care in the country. It's a well-known secret. So, parents leave feeling good because it's a safe place. place. The kids are going to be enriched, they're going to be challenged, and they're going to be taken care of. And more importantly, when they come out, when the SUVs show up again, they're going to be in great shape. So that's a great thing that happens, part of the magic. What else happens? All throughout the day, seniors like me come in, we got our aches, we got our pains, we got our periodic losses, and what do we get? We get a warm welcome from the people in the Y. We get to work out, we get to connect with people of all ages, not just our own, and we get to feel the pulse of family life again, because sometimes we don't get that at home, So that's a miracle that happens as well every single day. What about the pre-diabetic folks and the cancer survivors that come in and get re-energized and psyched up to fight the fight and get their lives back? What about them? And what about the families that come to the gymnasium? They're not going to the LA Fitness or to the Goals. They're not going to be intimidated or scared. They come to our Y, where they're sitting next to somebody on the treadmill who looks kind of like a normal person, and they break a sweat, and they work their ass off, and they get healthy. And this happens every single day. What about the non-swimmers, like me when I was 5? What if you're 15 or 55? You come in, you're terrified of the water, you conquer your fear, you learn that you can achieve great things, and it's amazing, it happens at the Y every single day. A couple more things. What about the teen centers? You saw them up on the screen. They're phenomenal. Kids come, hundreds and hundreds, maybe 800 come every weekend, and hang out with their friends in a safe place and do a great job. And one more thing. What about newcomers? We rarely think about newcomers who are coming from Queens or Brooklyn or Bronx, moving into our communities, they're feeling a little displaced. In they come, what do they get at the Y? They get a place to connect, a place to plug in, a place to feel a little less displaced. Now, you know what? Not for nothing, but in 2013, it's a little scary out there, right? I mean, it's a little intimidating. You read Newsday, CNN, it's isolating, and it's intimidating. The Y is a place you come to feel secure, to feel warm, and to push back a little bit against those kind of scary forces. That's a miraculous place. The second part of the Y magic is the people that work at the Y. They're incredible. Let me tell you a little story about that. My mom, Ellie, would tell me as I was growing up, Scott, the measure of the character of a person is not what they do when people are looking. It's what they do when nobody's looking. It's easy to do the right thing when someone's watching you, right? But when they're not, you can cut corners, you can take it easy, you can slack off. The Y folks don't do that. Every single day they're doing amazing little things, millions of them, that make life better for our Long Island friends. Let's think of a couple of them. Let's imagine the 3-year-old in the class, right? She's acting out, she's a little cranky, having a bad day. Okay, a firm hand from a teacher helps her to become a better classmate, a better friend, a better citizen, and a better daughter when she gets back in the car with her mom and dad in a few hours, right? And that's an amazing little thing. What happens when seniors and newcomers like me come into the end of the Y, and we're feeling a little down? They get a welcome at the front desk and a little bit of advice, maybe a little bit of counseling, and a lift up. And if you've walked into our Ys, you could be having a bad day. What happens at the front desk? You get a smile, you get a hello, you get a hi, Mr. Sammis, right? Makes you feel good, changes your day. It's amazing. And I wonder if you've seen this too. If you're wandering around the Y, maybe a little lost, maybe you're like me, you have one of those days, or you're a newcomer, and a Y person who's got something to do that day, very busy people, will say, "Can I help you?" And you say, "Well, I'm a little lost." And they say, "Well, come take a tour of the facility. Come walk around with me and see. In this corner over here, there's childcare. Here's the pool. Here's the workout. Here's where the magic happens." It's an amazing phenomenon. And one last thing, I want to note the people in the Ys that take care of the buildings. Because every time, before you get there, they've scrubbed the corner over here. They're looking for places to clean up. They're making it a better place. And it's amazing. Listen, all the executives, all the leaders, all the lifeguards, all the guides, all the front desk people, all the folks working in the Ys every day, they're making it a little better for us. And they're doing a million right things. Let's hear it for all those folks, please. They're making magic every day. All right, let's talk money. Look at this place. Take a look around. It's magnificent, right? If you saw it 15 years ago, when Frank had the vision with the Y leadership here to make this place, you'd be astounded the changes that are here. But I knew it took vision, and we thank you guys for doing what you did. But it also took money. And let's talk money for a minute. If we were a for-profit corporation, it'd be a piece of cake for us to get money. We go out and show our growth rate. We show the way we handle our money. We go to the markets and say, hey, give us some money as investors, and it'd be a piece of cake, right, Mike and Mike? Right? We go crazy, go public. We can't do that. We don't have that ability. Our hands are tied. We're a non-profit organization. So where do we go to get our money? 3 places. First is those 60,000 members who come into our Ys every day and pay a fair, low price for the exquisite services and programs that we offer. And out of that money, out of every dollar, we're able to take a couple of pennies and put them aside. How do we do it? And budget like crazy. We pinch every penny and we waste nothing. And so a couple of pennies go into a little fund on the side which pays for repairs and for renovations and for the next building that we have to build. That's how we do it. That's part of the miracle. The second one is our pals, our partners, our friends, the bankers. No catcalls. I know CNN and the media doesn't like the bankers much these days, but we love them because they're willing to lend us money because we're such good budgeters. We pay back like crazy. Doug and Don and the guys, we thank you so much for being there for us. They lend us a couple of $1 million to get us over the top, and we pay them back probably too fast, right? Yeah. Anyway, we love the bankers. They're fantastic. Can we have a hand for the bankers? All right, now, but number 3, you know what's coming. Number 3 is look around you. To your left, to your right, to your front, to your back. People like us. People who get it. Who really get the message. Well, what do they get? They get that we have to reinvest in the community that gave us the wealth for selling services and goods to them in the first place. Face it, all wealth comes from the community. All we do as the community takes care of our businesses and us is we put it back into the community. It's the great recycling program in the sky. And there's a couple of families here tonight that really, really get it. And you know who they are. Do we have a round of applause for them? These are fantastic people. They had tremendous success in business on this island, and they plowed so much of it back. Without them, there would not be a Bayshore to our left over here, and there wouldn't be the wonderful Patchogue facility that Donna takes care of now. It's amazing. Now, yes, we're here again. Fantastic. But they're different kind of people. They should really be the ones who are being honored tonight, I gotta tell you. But they don't want recognition. They don't want it. They're quiet, they're humble, they do it when nobody's looking. They're really wide people, and that's part of the magic as well. So we thank them so much. Now, question number 3, we're getting to the finish line here, folks. Why does anybody give money to the YMCA? What, crazy? I mean, it hasn't got a tremendous image, right? We don't do any advertising. I'll tell you why. There's a million reasons why people give to the Y. One of them centers around the warm glow that you get when you write a check to the Y. You know the money's going to a good place. You write the check, and you know Ann's going to take care of it, and all the wonderful people here, but then the glow kind of goes like that, right? So maybe it is that the people who want to do the big recycling program and just plow back all quietly. There are other families, though, like the Trebers and like the Martones and like the Sammis, who have their name on buildings. Now, I gotta tell you, not for nothing, but when I see that Sammis Family Center up there, the child care, I really like it. It makes me feel good. You know, but that's just me. So, you know, not everybody's that way. But there's another real reason that motivates me to give it. And here's another story from, this is my mom's mom, Edith, who was a hard-working German woman in a tiny town of Monroe, Wisconsin, and she's raising her first daughter with the other daughters. Her first daughter's my mom, Ellie, and it's in the 30s, and it's the Depression. It's real hard times. So my grandma Edith would say, Ellen Jane, that's what she called her, Ellen Jane, not Ellie, Ellen Jane, we don't have a lot of money, but there are people in this town that have less. And I'd like for you, we have to help them, I'd like for you during your life, when you get into a place or a situation, try to leave it a little better for your being there than when you showed up. And that stuck with her. So 30 years later, in the 60s, she's raising me, the oldest child, and my sisters, and she says to me, Scott, you know when we're on the airplane, going to see Grandma, those miserable little bathrooms, when you go up there to do your business, when you finish your business, that's what she'd say, finish your business, You know, maybe there's a paper towel on the floor. Pick it up. And after you wash your hands, get a towel and wipe off the basin, wipe off the mirror. Leave it a little better than it was when you got there. And you know, it stuck with me, and I still do it. You might say it's a little gross, right? It's a little stupid, but it's a philosophy. And my dad was the same way. Quentin, the same way. He'd take us out for beach walks on the beach, you know, weekends, whenever he could. And there he is picking up the beer cans, he's picking up the bottles, he's picking up the little shit, you know, six-pack things. I mean, and he's leaving it a little better than when it was when he first got there. And that's just kind of stuck with us, and that's one of the reasons that we get. So, to sum up, for me, supporting the YMCA is a no-brainer. I mean, the people that we love that take care of us every day and do all the million right things, I mean, you gotta support them. And you know, it really doesn't hurt, to be honest, to imagine that my mom and dad are up there someplace with their mom and dad, and they're nudging each other going, you know, he's leaving it a little better for being there. So, you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. You people in this hall really get it, and I love you for it. And whether you give to, because the Y saved a life of somebody in your family, a friend or a relative, or whether you feel the need to do that big recycling plan in the sky where you give back to the community where you got your wealth from, or maybe you want to say thanks to the Y people, like I said, that do that million right things. Maybe you want to get your name up on a building, maybe you don't. Maybe you feel good that your ancestors are looking down and saying, hey, you know, you did a nice thing. Whatever your reasons are, we thank you so much for being with us and being part of the Y Magic. And this one's for you. Thank you so much. That's happening here, you can feel it in Bayshore, you can feel it in Patcho, you can feel it in Glen Cove and Huntington and East Hampton, you can feel it everywhere. Other communities need us. And I want to know right now, if when we call on you for the next community, we're going to pick it carefully, can we count on your support? Yes? That's all I want to do. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Scott Sammis?